It is still July 14th. I just got back from my cousin's book opening event, and it was great. It was, I think my favorite part was being able to follow along. They got a kick out of it. And I told them, I'm like, I brought my book so I could follow along when you read. And they're like, you didn't. I was like, yeah. And I explained why. I'm like, I'm more visual. So otherwise, like, a lot of the words, if they're not short and simple, like, it'll fly over my head. And it actually happened for one of the other poets that were writers that were presenting. It was a letter, and it was a really long letter, and I was trying really hard to stay focused and stay attentive because it sounded really interesting. But then, like, I caught my mind going and I was like, oh, let me bring it back, and because then I would get distracted by how they look, and then so then, yeah, I'm just visual. Like, I need a combination of the audio, the visual, right, and the experience of it. So I loved that I was able to follow along. And then I loved that these were poems that I already heard. They read, I didn't realize, and it makes sense, the first poetry reading that they took me to in Oakland, they read from this book. I can't believe it was a year ago. So it was great. And I mean, the art and the creativity in some of these poems, you know, like there's one where, a few of them where it's like a combination of a poem with a play. Like, it's so much fun. And I love how they use the word, just break up the, you know, whatever it's called, because, you know, I'm not like, I'm not into, I don't know the words, I don't know the terminology, but I loved it. So that was really cool. I loved it. I love the bookstore, just period. I love the feel of it, and every time I go, almost every time that I go, I have to say, like, every time that I go, I always buy a book, at least. And today, I bought 3. Just kidding. No, yeah, I bought 3 because I got one for free. They gave me one. So, I got Hella Mexican. I actually got to meet the author, Kevin, yeah. And this was the first time that he met someone who was buying his book. So that was a real treat to get introduced to him. So I'm excited to read it. I'm really excited. Moon Mother, Moon Daughter. It looked really interesting. Myths and rituals that celebrate a girl's coming of age. Because I was just like, what did I miss? I love that I looked into, like, I like that it had a section on dreams. I just wanted a different take on what that upbringing would be like, using more of rituals and myths versus a traditional, well, versus what I got, really. You know, these are things that you don't really get exposed to, and or it's very one-sided. So I wanted exposure to something else. Yeah. The next 2 I bought because of the art. I loved, you know, I was thinking about it too when I was in the bookstore. I really love the children's area and the young adults area, and I realized why versus the other areas, and why it takes me a little longer to read those books for, like, the adults. It's because I like the pictures. I love the pictures. And so, you know, they have to have good pictures. Otherwise, like, I'm not that it makes it hard for me to paint the picture in my head, if the words are simple enough, I can paint the picture in my head. So, yeah. So these two, I'm trying to cover my, so the bangs, I don't know if I told you guys, my bangs are getting longer. So the idea behind the short to long bangs doesn't work when your bangs are getting longer. So I have to now like train them to, you know, with the rest of the hair, back to the rest of the hair. So because they're still kind of short on this end, I have to like train it with a bobby pin. But anyways, so I purchased Poetry and Prose and by Nancy Wood, paintings by Frank Howell, Sacred Fire. How beautiful that is. Oh my goodness. But the art, I think the art was what really called out to me. Look at this. Oh my gosh. It's just so gorgeous. It's the art. It's the art was what called me to it, really. It's just so beautiful. Yeah. So, oh, I think I was saying something else. Oh, I tend to gravitate towards young adult pictures, books, because of the pictures. So then I thought about my own poetry, right? I haven't heard back from where I submitted it, so I thought, well, maybe I should submit it to other places too, you know? Or even the other collection, the 20 plus poems that came out of me out of nowhere. I should send them to other places. I shouldn't just send it to one. And so I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shop around. I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I'm determined to get published at least once in my life. And then this one I liked because it just looked, also for the art, but the book looked old. The Enchanted World, Spells and Bindings is what it's called. This is the one I got for free. One of the owners, she sees me there a lot, and so she's like, this one's a free gift for you. And I said, really? And I loved it. So apparently this one was under mythology, and I think they're stories. Like there's one on Tristram, and I know it. I think this one got turned into a book, maybe. I don't know. It stole the fair. So I think that was like turned into a book. But anyways, I like the art in this one too. Like it's very I like the art. I just like the art. Some of it is really intense. Some of it is very like it's just beautiful. Like how do you not like the art? There's a lot of different influence in these stories. So I just love the art. Look at this one. So yeah. Look at this one. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited that this time I got more picture books. Yeah. So I'm happy. It was a great night. And got a lot of work to do. But it was just great. It was a really great night, and I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to go to events like this, literally like almost down the street, and just enjoy myself. So back to work. All right. Hi, my name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us. In whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth, this just happens to be my journey. And despite Despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and we'll see what else comes next for me.